The old lady upstairs' underwear blew onto my teacup. I was so disgusted I wanted to vomit. I used a dried fish skewer to flick it off and throw it back. The moment I looked up, I met eyes with the old lady upstairs. She shrieked, "You perverted, disgusting thief, stealing underwear." My hand trembled, and the underwear fell downstairs. A minute later, someone pounded on my door. The old couple from upstairs glared at me. "You damn pervert. Pay us 1,000 for each pair of underwear, or we'll ruin your reputation." I was so angry I laughed. Those aren't just any underwear. They're ancient artifacts dug from your ancestors' pickle jar in the family tomb. No wonder they reeked, polluting the entire atmosphere. Their faces turned pale. "You're lying. These are sacred underwear blessed by a grandmaster. Wearing them guarantees a male child." I stared at their faces, both well over 60, in utter disbelief, then quickly agreed. "In that case, it's not just 1,000. How about 10 billion? I'll burn it for you tonight. Anyone who's cursed would scald the back of their neck, even eating a sugar bun." A moment ago, I had just brewed tea, arranged some snacks, and picked up my phone to take a picture to send to my girlfriend. Suddenly, 2 tattered pieces of floral fabric appeared in the frame. I was so startled my hand trembled, causing the phone to slip. I looked closer and nearly threw up yesterday's dinner. 2 of the largest size underpants were draped over my freshly brewed tea and snacks. Without a doubt, they belonged to the upstairs neighbors. Our apartment clearly has a balcony, but the upstairs neighbors insisted on installing 3 iron bars extending over a meter out from their balcony wall. Every time they washed their bedsheets, I felt like the sky was gloomy, blocking all my sunlight. I considered going up to reason with them several times, but always decided against it. I sometimes travel for work and wasn't often home during the day. Plus, I'm a person who hates trouble and is too lazy to waste words. But today, I don't know what got into them. Their underwear actually flew into my apartment, deliberately landing on my teacup table. Damn it, it was absolutely disgusting. I thought for a moment. After all, it was their property. If I threw it into my own trash bag, I was afraid even the trash bag would complain about the stench. So, I grabbed a dried fish skewer from the corner, hooked it, and extended it far out. Looking at the length, I figured I could probably throw it back onto their balcony. As I was doing this, I looked up and met eyes with the old lady upstairs. She shrieked, "You damn pervert, underwear thief." Oh my God, Mom, I'm so embarrassed. This old lady is going to be the death of me. Why do I have such neighbors? The tattered floral fabric fluttered and landed right in a pile of dog poop. Well, that's perfect. Trash has found its rightful place. But to my surprise, a minute later, my door was being pounded on violently. "Open up, you damn pervert." I opened the door, and there stood the old couple from upstairs. The old man pointed at my nose, cursing me fiercely. "You punk. How dare you steal my wife's underwear? You've got some nerve. She's old enough to be your mother. Have you no shame?" The old lady pushed forward, her floral apron covered in dough, and shrieked, her veins popping. "No wonder you've been sneaking around on the balcony. So you're a pervert. Tell me, how many times have you stolen my underwear?" The old man immediately cut her off. "If you ask him, will he admit it? Just a few days ago, you suspected the underwear was blown away by the wind. Now do you understand? This pervert stole it?" The old lady looked utterly devastated. "So young, yet you don't learn anything good. If you like that kind of thing, just tell your auntie. Your auntie will sell you 2 precious items from her bottom drawer. But if you steal, that's a different matter entirely." No, she doesn't understand. Buying and stealing are different. This one has a perverted mind. The 2 of them, one after another, were practically spitting in my face. I quickly raised my voice to interrupt. "Don't spread false accusations and dirty my tea table. I haven't even settled scores with you 2 yet." The old couple completely ignored me. "Don't deny it. If you didn't steal the underwear, did it grow legs and run away? Let's talk about compensation. How many pairs do you think are missing?" The old lady counted on her fingers, finally holding up one hand. "At least 5 pairs. Let's say 5 pairs. 1,000 each, total 5,000. Transfer the money." I stared blankly at the old couple. It turned out they weren't interested in reason. They were playing a dirty trick on me. What kind of underwear is so expensive? They're ancient artifacts dug from my family's ancestral pickle jar. Can you afford to pay? Making you pay 5,000 is cheap for you. I looked at the old man and old lady in astonishment. They were both at least over 60. I quickly recalled some biology knowledge in my head and nodded with admiration. "All right then." The old man's eyes lit up. 5,000 isn't enough. How about 10 billion, old man? I'll burn it for you tonight at the crossroads. Don't blame me for stalling for time. I'd truly never seen neighbors so shameless. The moment he opened his mouth and demanded 5,000, I knew this wasn't simple. That underwear wasn't blown away by the wind, they intentionally threw it down, waiting to extort me. As soon as I finished speaking, the old man naturally refused. You stole our underwear and you think you're right? Our underwear is our private property. If you steal it, you have to pay for it. I was so angry I laughed. Why don't you go downstairs and check? Maybe it's hanging on the dog poop pile down there. Just pick it up, wash it, and wear it. Your underwear isn't made of glass or porcelain. It won't shatter if it falls on the ground, will it? Go on, hurry up, don't discuss me. With that, I prepared to close the door. The old man was quick, sticking one foot into the gap. My hand trembled with fear. If I accidentally clamped his foot at 1,000 per pair of underwear, wouldn't he demand billions in medical fees? I calmly looked at him, waiting to see what other tricks he had up his sleeve. The old lady wouldn't back down. This young man speaks so immorally. I caught you red-handed today, and you still want to deny it. Judging by your methods, you must be a repeat offender. This old woman has to buy new underwear every few days because you keep stealing them all. If you don't pay today, we'll call the police. You're a person of reputation, aren't you? A stolen underwear incident blowing up wouldn't be good. I'm saving face for you. Don't be greedy. Oh ho, I thought. I haven't even settled scores with them, and they want to bite back. I pulled out my phone and dialed 911, 113 in Vietnam to show them. You don't need to call, I'll call for you. But if the police investigate and find I didn't steal anything, then you're filing a false report and will be held legally responsible. Spending 10 days or 8 days in jail, I wonder if your old bodies can handle it. The old man's eyes widened, and the old lady clutched her chest. I secretly thought, here we go, trick number 2, they want to discuss me again. Sure enough, the old lady clutched her chest and slowly slumped to the ground. Oh, my dear husband, my old illness has relapsed. With that, her eyes rolled back, her head drooped to one side, and she collapsed onto the floor. The old man's acting wasn't bad either. He let out a wail and lunged at the old lady. Oh, my dear wife, don't die, don't leave me alone. But today, I was in a rather good mood. I wanted to play along. I immediately asked anxiously, should I call 911, 115 in Vietnam in this case? Get an ambulance, use the defibrillator, a few BZZ, and she'll be fine. I heard the electric shock is very strong. Her chest might even be scorched, but it saves lives. I quickly pulled out my phone, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw the old lady's eyelashes flutter twice. Old man rolled his eyes. It's just her old illness, she might get better slowly. Then it has nothing to do with me, I can't give you 50,000. Who says it has nothing to do with you? You're lying here, if you don't give us money, we won't leave. I pulled out my phone again. Or should I call 911, 113? I don't think the old lady is sick at all. Who said that? Call the ambulance. Hurry, call the ambulance. All right then, I said, closing the door. I'll call both 911 and 911. I'll sit and watch the show. The ambulance, 115, arrived faster than the police, 113. Seeing the old lady lying motionless, they took her blood pressure, performed an electrocardiogram, and looked a bit suspicious. The ECG was quite normal. They pulled back her eyelids and checked her pupils. I saw the old lady's leg twitch. She probably couldn't keep up the act much longer. I quickly added, please take her to the hospital, do a full body checkup. After all, she's old, and you never know what illnesses she might have. We shouldn't be careless. Once there, put her on a ventilator, insert tubes through her nose all the way down, open her skull to prevent cerebral hemorrhage, crack open her ribs, spread her chest, making it convenient for emergency myocardial infarction treatment at any time. The paramedics frowned and glared at me. What nonsense are you spouting? The old man was visibly panicked. Well then, you'll have to pay for this too. It's all because you made her angry. The old lady clearly couldn't lie there any longer. Her whole body was trembling slightly. Just then, the police, 113, also arrived. Seeing this, the old man became even more aggressive. Why did you call the police too? I smiled. I need officer to help me get justice. I pointed to the door frame. Sir, I have surveillance cameras here. I didn't touch her at all. She fell down on her own. You also told me to call 115 and the police here. With that, I pulled a feather from a feather duster and tickled the old lady's nose. She sneezed and immediately sprang up. Her leg no longer hurt, her heart was no longer blocked. She jumped up, pointed at my nose, and cursed, "You damn pervert." "Ha," I just wanted to laugh. The paramedics in the ambulance frowned. What is the meaning of this? Faking illness, this is a waste of public medical resources. Are you making fun of us? The police officer also frowned. Extortion is a criminal offense, do you know that? The old couple, who had been so arrogant, now hung their heads and wiped away tears. The ambulance couldn't leave without charging. After the police reprimanded them, they made the old couple pay 600 yuan for the ambulance ride, and that was that. They didn't get their 50,000 and they lost 600. The play was over just like that. I looked at my tea table, feeling disgusted. I definitely couldn't eat the snacks anymore. But I really couldn't bear to throw away this tea set. It was bothering me. I decided to put it aside and deal with it later. As I was about to go back to my room for a nap, my phone kept buzzing with messages. I opened them and was so angry my nose twisted. Happy Golden Years 502 had sent a series of messages. That punk in 402 downstairs is a pervert who stole my underwear. The evidence is on the lawn downstairs, Unit 3, Block 2. Underwear is intimate clothing. Stealing my underwear is like stripping me naked. This old woman has been pure her entire life and has never suffered such humiliation. I told him to compensate, but he refused. Neighbors, management comrades, judge for yourselves. Have you ever seen anyone so shameless? Peaceful Golden Years 502 also tagged me. Today he stole my wife's underwear. Tomorrow, what if he steals your wife's? Or your daughter's? What if he lifts your daughter's skirt and drags your wife into the bushes? This kind of pervert dares to do anything. His living in our community is a major threat to our safety. Such a danger, everyone must absolutely not tolerate it. Peaceful Golden Years 502. I now propose that he be made to self-criticize, write a letter of commitment to be posted on social media, deeply repent for his vile act of stealing underwear, and compensate me 50,000 yuan for emotional distress. My wife was so angry she fell ill because of him. His seeing my wife's underwear is like stripping my wife naked. Neighbors, bear witness. If anything happens to my wife in the next 20 years, it will all be due to the shadow he cast today. All medical expenses must be borne by him entirely. Therefore, he must deposit 100,000 yuan as collateral to prevent him from defaulting on the debt. After sending the messages, he even attached a picture of me. He must have secretly taken it during the chaos earlier. This time, not only our unit, but the entire residential area knew my face. Damn it, I was trembling with anger. Just as I was about to retort, someone knocked on my door. It was Aunt Wang from across the hall. She looked at me worriedly. Wang, what did you do to provoke those two unreasonable people upstairs? It seems they're quite famous in the neighborhood. I travel frequently for work. I bought this house a year ago but rarely live here, so I truly didn't know. Oh, they're very famous, their clothes drying rack. The cost to build that rack was 8,888 yuan. The management advised them 3 times, but it was useless. In winter, they hang cured sausages. When the sun shines, the grease drips down drip, drip, drip. When it gets cold at night, the grease solidifies, leaving a thick white layer on the lawn below. It drove Mr. Wang on the first floor crazy, but no one could talk sense into them. They were so stubborn that they forced the management to cut down the entire patch of greenery below. I always wondered why the patch of greenery in front of our unit was different from others. Well, there you have it. The apartment above theirs originally had a young couple with a very well-behaved 8-year-old daughter. But the old couple insisted that the child was too naughty, jumping around in the house, causing their illnesses to relapse, and extorted 20,000 yuan from them. And their chamber pot, left in the hallway, was accidentally kicked by the neighbor opposite. They insisted it was an antique from the Qing dynasty and made the neighbor compensate them 8,000 yuan. And your previous landlord, who was living peacefully, the old lady upstairs claimed she had a miscarriage because the downstairs apartment used too much internet, causing radiation. She came downstairs to cause trouble every single day, eventually forcing them to sell the house. I was shocked. I always wondered why this house was so cheap back then. So, it was because of the terrible neighbors upstairs. I wondered aloud, that lie is too childish. How can someone so old still have a miscarriage? Aunt Wang immediately looked worried. You absolutely must not say that to the upstairs neighbors. They've always been praying to gods and seeking secret remedies, determined to have a son. In reality, they have a very filial daughter. It's truly unlucky to be their daughter. I wasn't concerned about their family affairs. I just wondered why all the neighbors were so timid. It's not that they're timid, it's that no one wants trouble. They just claim their illness relapsed and you have to take them to the doctor, running back and forth to the hospital 8 times, wasting both effort and money. It's better to settle privately. In short, don't provoke them. We're not scared, but it's mainly not worth the annoyance. I thanked Aunt Wang. I went back to check the chat group and saw several more messages, all cursing me. I rushed to the balcony, took a picture of their iron drying rack. Coincidentally, I also had evidence of the underwear that had covered my teacup earlier. I then found screenshots of my shopping records, my tea table, tea set, snacks, and tea leaves. I edited them a bit and posted all these pictures in the group. I tagged the upstairs neighbors. My tea table and tea leaves have been severely polluted. Please carefully check the payment amount on the invoice, a total of 188,000 yuan, and transfer it to my account. The upstairs neighbors immediately replied, "Your stuff isn't broken. On what grounds are you making us pay?" That's right, your underwear isn't broken either. It just landed on a pile of dog poop. It was originally meant to hold human waste, and dog waste is from the same family. No one should criticize anyone. Next, I zoomed in on the picture and posted another one. There was clearly a yellowish stain on that floral underwear, obviously not washed clean. Everyone understood what it was. Immediately, a neighbor tagged me, "My friend, you're not being very considerate. It's one thing if you throw up yourself, but you're making us all throw up with you. You're truly sick, you should go to the hospital and get checked out. It's probably not just that. You probably have an anal fistula too." I feel like the dog poop pile downstairs is cleaner than this underwear. What a beautiful tea table, what a pity. From then on, the upstairs neighbors were at odds with me. They hung cured sausages on their balcony rack. The grease dripped onto my apartment. The sun shone on it, making it smell awful and stinky. The dripping grease was very difficult to clean. All right, I thought, I'll make a bowl of honey water and spray it all over their sausages. In less than half a day, it was covered. Flies swarmed, getting more and more numerous. "Just enjoy it slowly." The upstairs neighbors cursed loudly, but I didn't back down. It was a verbal battle with no clear winner. The next day, they hung stinky socks on their iron rack, one after another, forming a chain that disgusted me. I immediately posted in the public chat group, "I'm publicly collecting dog urine to spray all over them." That evening, I heard the old couple arguing fiercely on their balcony. "Why don't you take your socks? How can I wear my socks anymore? These ripped ones you've worn for over a decade. Why don't you throw them away and buy new ones? It's all your dirty tricks. How much money have you wasted? You even ruined my sausages." "Don't worry, I'll think of something. This is going to be a show. Heh, I'll be waiting." To my surprise, the next day after work, as soon as I stepped into my apartment, I was startled by the complete darkness inside. It was clearly only 6 p.m., but there was no light at all. I turned on the lights and looked out at the balcony. A large black cloth was pasted with white paper, on which 2 large characters read, "Go die." I angrily rushed to the balcony and ripped down the black cloth. In an instant, the entire balcony was filled with fake paper money, scattering throughout my living room. While I was still stunned, I heard the old man upstairs laughing loudly. "Pick up the paper money, take it and honor your parents. If you don't want to pay, then move out. You're too green to fight me." I sneered, turning around to find a flower shop that sold wreaths. "These 2 old beasts want to play dirty with me? I'll play along." I ordered 2 wreaths, had their names written on them, and placed them right outside their door. Then I tied a speaker to a long pole, extended it straight up to their drying rack, and played funeral music on repeat, interspersed with a few sentences I had recorded myself. "David Su, Quifan Deng, you 2 died tragically. Lived immorally, died and went to hell. Skinned, tongues pulled out, boiled in oil." That night, I put on noise-canceling headphones and slept soundly until morning. When I left the house in the morning, I saw a piece of paper taped to my door on which was written, "I've given you a chance. From today on, don't expect to sleep well." Trying to scare me? Coincidentally, I had just finished a project and planned to game all night anyway. I didn't want to sleep. Sure enough, in the middle of the night, as I was engrossed in a game combat, the floor suddenly vibrated, followed by a rhythmic thumping sound. In the quiet of the night, the noise was especially clear. It turned out the old man upstairs was bouncing a ball at home. I quickly ran to the balcony and shouted upstairs, "What the hell? Are you going to let people sleep or not? You old fossil." Sure enough, the moment I shouted, he bounced even harder. I hadn't even played 2 rounds when I went outside to stretch my limbs. After shouting like that, the thumping sound from upstairs continued nonstop all night. This went on for several days. I calculated that enough time had passed. After the old man had another sleepless night, early the next morning, I picked up my friend's 8-year-old grandnephew and brought him to my house. "You're too fat, kid. You need to lose some weight. Take this floor vibrator and shake it really hard for your uncle. Do a good job, and I'll buy the whole family fried chicken. Just go wild." Oh, right, there are a lot of bad people in this neighborhood, so don't open the door for anyone unless your uncle comes to pick you up. With that, I hung up the phone and went to my girlfriend's place to catch up on sleep. Heck, the old couple had a sleepless night. Just wait and see. I woke up and checked the camera. My grandnephew was having the time of his life. My phone was full of missed calls from the management and a series of messages in the community chat group from Happy Golden Years 502, That Punkin 402, Are you going to be immoral for 8 generations? Are you trying to destroy your house in broad daylight? I'm telling you, my heart condition is about to relapse. Just wait and pay up. Answer the phone. He also yelled, Let's all resist together. Drive 402 out of the complex. A few scattered neighbors replied below, The owner of 402 is a good guy. My dog got lost the other day and he helped me find it. That's right, my car battery wouldn't start and 402 helped me jump it. Sometimes you should reflect on yourselves. I'm in 302 and I don't hear any noise. Happy Golden Years 502 was furious. Before I could even fully appreciate his angry expression, the management called again. Over the phone, the old man upstairs was cursing loudly. What the hell are you doing at home? Are you going to let people catch up on sleep? From now on, don't make any noise. This made me laugh out loud. You made me stay up all night, harming me. You deserve it. What law prohibits children from playing inside? If you can't sleep, what does that have to do with me? Stop your dirty tricks. If you scare my child, I'll take him to the hospital and you'll pay the expenses. I'll pay your grandmother a village. My grandmother passed away years ago. Or should I ask her to come up and give you some paper money? Even over the phone, I could feel her trembling with anger. She roared, You little brat, if you're so good, don't come home? I picked my ear. Who farted? I didn't hear anything. I'm so angry I could die. The old man must have been so angry with me that he left. The management representative took back the phone. Mr. Liu, please see, Mr. and Mrs. Su, they are also old. If they keep not sleeping like this and something unexpected happens, we also have responsibility. I loudly interrupted him. What responsibility do I have? Didn't he tell you why he stayed up all night and needed to catch up on sleep during the day? Have you ever seen a frail old man bouncing a ball all night long just so the downstairs neighbor couldn't sleep? Furthermore, our country's law stipulates that no noise is allowed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. He violated the law, and you don't manage him, but you come to manage me? The state stipulates that indoor noise should not exceed 30 dB. I haven't exceeded that, have I? Also, he installed a clothes drying rack outside the balcony. On what grounds do you not manage that? You can't manage it. If you can't manage it, it's because you're incompetent, bullying the weak and fearing the strong, mediating to let things pass. And you still come here to reason with me. Thank you very much. The management staff member was speechless after my words, awkwardly hanging up the phone. Through the camera outside my door, I saw the old couple upstairs bringing chairs and sitting right in front of my door, pounding on it and cursing. You damn pervert, I know you're hiding in there. Open the door for me. I looked at my grandnephew. He was standing right by the door, alert, with his ears perked up. Sure enough, amidst the incessant pounding, my grandnephew used his smartwatch to call me. Uncle, when are you coming home? There are bad people outside. I immediately comforted him. Don't worry, your reinforcements are coming soon. I hung up and called my sister. I told her, I'm being harassed by the terrible neighbors upstairs. They're blocking my door, preventing me from coming home, and your precious nephew is still hungry. My sister immediately became furious and demanded to come over. I quickly stopped her. You coming won't help. They're two shameless rogues. The moment you raise your hand, she'll immediately collapse to the ground and play the victim against you. You need to let your in-laws handle them. The best way to defeat an old lady is to send another old lady with explosive combat power. My sister's mother-in-law, whose surname was Sun, I called her Aunt Sun. In her youth, she was a renowned beauty queen in the vegetable market and later became a prosperous wholesale vegetable vendor, but she always maintained a down-to-earth demeanor. When she cursed, she feared neither heaven nor earth. Upon hearing that her beloved grandson was in trouble, she truly took action. In less than 20 minutes, Aunt Sun and Uncle Sun arrived. I opened a bottle of beer, laid out a plate of spicy squid head, and pulled my girlfriend to watch the show with me. I only saw my Aunt Sun charging forward, pointing at the old lady upstairs' nose. What the hell are you blocking the door for? Who were you just cursing? You want to bully my beloved grandson? You shameless old tramp, get lost. The old lady upstairs was not to be outdone. Who are you? That damn pervert inside keeps making noise and won't let me sleep. I'm telling you, my heart condition has relapsed and I'm making him pay. Aunt Sun scoffed coldly. Who doesn't have a heart condition? If you dare to spout nonsense, I'll make you pay until you're bankrupt. At this moment, my grandnephew heard his grandmother's voice, opened the door, and rushed into Aunt Sun's arms, whimpering repeatedly, "Grandma." Aunt Sun's heart ached. "My dear grandson, don't be afraid. What grievances do you have? Tell Grandma." "They cursed me and said they would kill me. They cursed you too." Aunt Sun's face turned pale. "What did they curse about me?" "They said go back to your grandmother." "Go back with your grandmother's illness? Your grandmother's 8 generations of ancestors." I watched the camera and almost burst out laughing. Oh, my grandnephew, truly a divine assistant, must reward him with another whole family fried chicken meal. I only saw Aunt Sun turn around and grab the old lady upstairs by the collar. "You old hussy, all dolled up with lipstick and taking planes. You think you're so high and mighty, daring to curse me." The old lady upstairs also forgot her domineering ways and didn't back down. "So what if I cursed you? If you're related to this family, you deserve to be cursed. That little brat won't let me sleep. I haven't skinned him yet out of consideration." Aunt Sun didn't say another word, slapping her directly. "Who are you calling a brat? You heartless old woman, even bullying children. You're utterly immoral, so immoral that you gave birth to a grandchild without an anus." "I'm telling you, no son." The matter of not having a son must have been a painful point for the old lady upstairs. She shrieked, grabbing Aunt Sun's hair. This time, Aunt Sun's husband couldn't stand it any longer. My uncle was an athlete in his youth, tall and muscular. He grabbed the old lady upstairs, wrist with one hand, and roared, "Let go of her." Aunt Sun was also no pushover. She turned around and grabbed the old lady upstairs' hair too. The 2 gray-haired women fought fiercely in front of my door. This time, I couldn't sit still either. I swallowed a piece of squid head and quickly ran back into the house. By the time I arrived, the police were already there. It must have been the neighbors who called them. The battle was quite brutal, and it was a bit regrettable that I didn't get to see it live, but luckily, Aunt Sun's side clearly had the upper hand. The old lady upstairs' face was scratched, and blood was oozing from the corner of her mouth. The old man upstairs also had a bruised face. The police looked at this scene, quite helpless. Both sides were of similar age, and both demanded compensation for medical expenses from the other. But if they were truly to assess the injuries, they clearly hadn't reached the level of minor injury. So, both sides were given a reprimand and were about to be dismissed. But the old lady upstairs refused, screaming, "They didn't let us sleep first, they hit people first. Are you police officers going to do anything? If you don't, I'll call 2345. I'll sue you." The police officer was clearly annoyed. "You say the downstairs residents didn't let you sleep. Do you have any evidence? You say the downstairs residents hit people first. Who can prove that?" The old lady's eyes darted around, and she shrank her neck. "There's no evidence, but look, my tooth is loose here. You have to compensate me $50,000 for medical expenses." The police officer frowned at this. "I've told you before, extortion is illegal." The old lady was angry and unconvinced, but there was nothing she could do. She held up 2 fingers. 20,000, it can't be any lower." The police officer was about to advise further. My Aunt Sun looked up. "I'll pay her 20,000. The moment she said this, the old lady upstairs' eyes lit up. The next second, Aunt Sun pulled out her phone and called her lawyer. "Someone damaged my property. My limited edition shirt, my designer dress, my genuine leather high heels, they must compensate me at least 100,000. Please come here and help me deal with this." The old lady upstairs laughed loudly. "Stop bragging. That 53 yuan floral dress, what designer brand? Are you dreaming in broad daylight? You're old and still dress so flashy. Anyone can tell you're not decent. You old slut, you wanton woman." After saying that, she even turned and pointed at Aunt Sun's husband. "What a waste for your old man. He looks quite handsome, but he's wearing a green hat. Haven't you done a DNA test yet? See if that's really your grandson. Don't raise a child for another man." Aunt Sun, who had not yielded an inch just moments before, now sneered at her, not refuting a single word. The old lady thought Aunt Sun was scared and cursed even more vulgarly. I secretly applauded, hoping she would curse even more and preferably get physical. Because I had recorded the entire process of public humiliation and defamation. I could file a civil lawsuit, and with Aunt Sun's tactics, she would surely have to pay until she lost her last pair of underwear. But to my surprise, after the lawyer arrived, Aunt Sun patted me on the shoulder. "For future matters, just contact my lawyer, my dear. How much do you want them to compensate? Just tell him. Next time something happens, just tell Aunt Sun directly. Aunt Sun will help you vent some anger." I bowed and said yes. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw my grandnephew. The kid was smiling mischievously, holding up 2 fingers. I understood. 2 whole family fried chicken meals. Regarding the old couple upstairs, I didn't demand much. 100,000 yuan in compensation, removal of the iron frame outside their balcony, and a public apology using a loudspeaker in the community's central square. The old lady upstairs was furious, constantly being scolded by the old man upstairs. You can curse people, but why did you have to say such unpleasant things? Wearing a green hat, wanton woman. If you hadn't said that, would people have caught your weak spot? Besides, they hit you, just bear it. Why did you have to tear their clothes? What now? 100,000, even if we sold you, it wouldn't be enough. The old lady was not to be outdone. You're talking nonsense, you're turning your back on me. Are you perhaps fond of that old slut? Marrying you was truly bad luck for 8 generations. Other people's husbands know how to defend their wives, only you are useless. The old lady lunged at the old man, who pushed her to the ground. Marrying you was my bad luck. For so many years, you couldn't give birth to a son, only gave me a duck daughter who marries outside. The money our daughter gives us isn't even enough to pay the compensation. You tell me what to do? I was astonished. So old and still favoring sons over daughters. Was there a throne in their house that needed an heir? The 100,000 yuan, the 2 old rogues didn't have it. So I unexpectedly met their daughter. A sister dressed quite simply. I braced myself, preparing to deal with her. To my surprise, the sister wept bitterly. Mom and Dad, do you even want me to live? I earn 5,000 every month and give you 3,000. For so many years, I've been secretly subsidizing you both, hiding it from my husband and child. This house, I bought it, and before I even lived in it for a day, you 2 took it over. Well, fine, I hope you 2 can enjoy your old age in peace, and I'll be relieved. But you 2 cause trouble every few days, and now you're demanding 100,000 from me. I don't have it, not a single penny. Hearing this, the old man immediately flew into a rage. If you don't have it, go borrow it. Am I garbage? I raised you and you can't even come up with 100,000? Useless. The old lady played the role of the virtuous mother. Daughter, your parents have been framed by someone. We're old, and if we carry this debt, when we pass away, you'll still have to pay it. You think of something? The sister's face was filled with sorrow. How can I possibly get it? 100,000 is not a small sum. If I keep helping you 2 like this, my own family will fall apart. To my surprise, the moment she said this, the old man upstairs raised his hand and slapped the old lady's face. It's all your big mouth, it's all your fault for causing trouble. Don't drag me into this. The sister rushed forward, embracing the old lady tightly, and shouted, Don't hit my mom. If you touch her again, I won't give you a single penny. The old lady wept bitterly. Hit me, kill me, kill me. I won't let you harm our daughter anymore. I'll save this money. From now on, I won't take my high blood pressure medicine. I won't get treatment for illnesses. I'll save money to pay the debt. No one will dare to bully my daughter. Another dramatic act of self-sacrifice. The sister opposite had tears streaming down her face, her expression clearly softened. She hesitantly asked me, Sir, can I pay in installments? I originally didn't want to get involved in other people's family matters, but who said I wasn't naturally warm-hearted? I also wanted to know if this was a 2-person play or a 3-person play. So I looked at the 2 old rogues. Aren't you 2 saving money for IVF to have a son? You must have tens of thousands saved, right? Take it out. I don't accept installments. It must be a one-time payment. Otherwise, I will apply for compulsory enforcement and sell your house to pay the debt. The 3 people opposite had distinctly different expressions, which were incredibly colorful. The sister seemed to have just thought out, slowly looking up at the 2 old rogues. IVF, after all these years, you 2 still want a son? The old lady was clearly flustered. No, Mom is so old, how can she give birth again? Besides, having a daughter is enough for me in this life. The old man, under the old lady's sharp gaze, forced himself to remain silent, but I couldn't let them off the hook. I had recorded their conversation on the balcony yesterday with my long pole. The old man had said, The money for IVF isn't even enough for compensation. You tell me what to do? The old lady confidently replied, Let our daughter pay, of course. We'll coordinate. If she doesn't pay, I'll threaten to die. She'll definitely soften. For so many years, how else do you think we've handled her? So just let her pay a little more. It'll be just enough for IVF and we can quickly have a son. No, don't mention having a son in front of her. Just say we're old and all our assets are for her. Assets for her? What a joke. A duck daughter marrying an outsider has nothing to do with my Sioux family. I must have a son. Tomorrow, you take a few more beatings so she pays a little more, understand? Before I finished playing the recording, the old lady was the first to rush forward and snatch my phone. I quickly held it high. My phone costs over 10,000. If you snatch it, will your daughter pay you back? The sister's eyes were dull, her expression shattered. I quickly reminded her, Sister, how will you pay the 100,000? The sister finally came back to her senses and looked at me. The old lady immediately lunged forward. Daughter, don't listen to his nonsense. He's a pervert, he even stole my underwear before, I quickly added. They were sacred underwear blessed by a grandmaster, used to have a son, 1,000 each. The sister slowly stood up, looking distraught. I can't believe that after all these years of trying so hard, you two still want a son. I will not pay this 100,000, you two figure it out yourselves. With that, the sister turned to leave. I truly regretted that she wasn't stronger. This house, I'll live in it myself. The old lady desperately lunged and pulled at her sister, but the sister shook her off. And then, until her sister's figure disappeared from sight, she didn't turn back. The old lady, furious, turned back and tearfully questioned me. Are you immoral? Are you cutting off this old woman's source of wealth? Your recording is illegal, I'll sue you. I remained calm, overjoyed that I had done a good deed like Lei Feng. After her daughter came to her senses, she acted very quickly. That afternoon, she found a group of people and cleared out the old couple's belongings. Many neighbors came to watch the commotion, seeing the old lady look at the pile of tattered belongings in the hallway, weeping bitterly and cursing loudly. Jane Su, you unfilial child, may lightning strike you. Wait until I have a son. All my assets will go to my son, not a single penny for you. From today on, you are an orphan. You don't have a mother, I'm telling you. You can just cry secretly. Half a month after the old lady moved out, her daughter's entire family moved in right away. She even specifically came to apologize to me. I generously said, what's past is past. I saw the old lady upstairs again a month later. She was completely different from her previously plump and rich appearance. She was disheveled and extremely thin. When she saw me, she no longer had her former arrogance but trembled, her eyes avoiding mine. She knelt before her daughter, crying and begging, saying that all her savings had been paid to me. She and the old man were now homeless. The old man blamed her for not bearing a son, took the remaining money, and went looking for a younger woman, wanting her to bear him a son. Now, he had returned with a body full of illnesses, asking for nothing else but a place to stay and a meal to eat. Her daughter looked at her coldly, replying only, I will provide 500 a month for your living expenses on time. Don't come here anymore. This time, I could finally rest assured. No more terrible neighbors. My humble home truly pleased me everywhere. I could finally relax, brew tea, arrange snacks, and enjoy the gentle night breeze. What could be more beautiful? Yeah,